Hi everyone, welcome to this tutorial of the Geo Web's partial common ownership land market. I am on the Geo Web cadastral interface. I've already locked in the shape for a parcel that I want to go ahead and claim, so we can just jump right in. We'll look at this for sale price field first, and this field is exactly what it sounds like. When you claim a parcel on the Geo Web, you must also publish to the world what you're willing to sell that parcel for. It's a real for sale price. People can trigger transfer, they'll pay you this amount, and they'll get your parcel. In our implementation, we do allow you to reject incoming bids, but you have to pay a penalty to do so. So it's important to still put an honest valuation here. The next field is something that we refer to as network fees. As you can see, it's being calculated as 10% of my for sale price. So if I 10x my for sale price, my network fee is also 10x. These two fields are the basis of our PCO market. We think they create the right incentives to help us scale the GeoWeb globally and make it the most useful and valuable geospatial network that there is. Let's take a look at how we actually think that can play out. So if I'm the licensor of a parcel, and there's this clause that says I can be forced to sell it at any time for this price. I want a really high price, right? So I'll just crank it up here. When I do that, though, I'm forced to proportionally pay more in network fees. So I can't just set the price at 1,000,000 ETH if I'm not willing to pay 100,000 ETH per year in network fees. You have to put your money where your mouth is. And so why is that a good thing? With the GeoWeb, we're creating scarcity through digital land. It's strategic scarcity so that we can create a coherent spatial browsing experience without collision and chaos of content. But it's scarcity nonetheless, and we have to compete. Other digital layers that are land-based will sprout up, and then there'll be layers that Apple and Google will use maybe algorithms and paid placement for content. So we're in this competition and users will choose them based off of usefulness. So we need to make sure that our land, our scarce land, goes to those who can use it productively. We need to create incentives for investment for those people. Licensors on the GeoWeb are allowed to change their for sale price at any time before a bid comes in. As they build a valuable business or experience on the GeoWeb, they can just simply raise their price. So if they're forced to sell, they get a return on their investment. But if the licensor doesn't do anything productive with the land and they just want to squat on it while holding out for that big sale, they're going to have to pay a whole bunch of network fees along the way. And they're just essentially going to bleed cash. And so this gets to a common misconception about this type of market that's also called like a always for sale market. The richest don't always win. The most productive do. If you're unproductive and rich, yeah, sure, you can claim a bunch of land, set high prices, but you're quickly going to realize that you're paying more in network fees than you're earning back. And so that's just bad business. So ultimately, the dominant strategy in the market is to be honest about your self-assessed valuation of land and then go put it to good use. Generate value from it so you can justify a higher price and the corresponding network fees. And so that's good for everyone on the network on two levels. First is 100% of the network fees go towards funding public goods that we can all use. Think of it like reimbursing the rest of the world for excluding them from this piece of land. Second, productive land usage helps create network effects that we need for this to be bootstrapped. Mention one more misconception, the tie between physical and digital land. We've designed our system to be wholly independent of legacy infrastructure and concepts of private property. We're not trying to build a system that interfaces with every single nation state's version of private property rights or IT systems. But that doesn't mean that there's not practical interaction between physical world and digital world. We think that physical land residents, business owners, and frequent visitors are more likely to have the ideas and capability to put land to productive use. So in that case, they're the ones that are going to win out in the free market. And that's a good thing. We can promote even further with our spatial browsers, having the ability to filter out ads, spam, useless content. So basically, extractive publishers that are taking up land are just basically shouting into the void and paying for the privilege to do so. Just to close out this video, mention our market is priced in ETH. We use a wrapped version of ETH called ETHX, which is a super token on the Superfluid protocol. It allows us to do streaming payments, which is much more capital efficient, pretty futuristic, instead of deposits or recurring payments. We're really excited about what we can do with those streams on the way out of the treasury for funding public goods, but we'll save that for another video.